Hey everybody, it's Catherine. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about manifesting through the Unity Consciousness Paradigm. And, big change, little change, some change, a lot of change, no change. They're all illusions. Change itself is even an illusion. And a lot of times when we're looking at making some sort of change in our life, we psych ourselves out unnecessarily. So let me explain. In the sense of quantum consciousness, everything already is. Creation is finished. Everything's already been created. It's all done. It is all complete. So when we have the experience of change, what's really happening is that we have an impulse, an impetus in our inner state of being. We have a different way of feeling about ourselves or feeling about reality, about the world, that allows us to move to a different timeline or reality where that change is already cemented. It's already true. It's already ongoing. The way I explain it to my community in Unity School, which is our online platform and private membership for studying, learning, and being able to live and breathe, manifesting your reality through the Unity Conscious Paradigm. Here's what we talk about. That when you are thinking about, let's just say, moving towards something you prefer to experience, okay, you're going to think of that as change. You're going to think of that traditionally as something that you have to rearrange as far as your outer circumstances are concerned. That's just rearranging surfaces. It doesn't really do anything to create any long lasting change. If you want to have an ongoing experience of, let's just say, feeling more abundant, more prosperous in your life, more financially prosperous in your life, if that doesn't feel natural to you now, you have to switch to an identity of you, a timeline of you where that's already natural for you. It's like the ongoing program already in progress. The way I explain it to members in Unity School is like changing the TV channel. So if you are sitting there on your couch watching a Netflix program and you're like, this sucks, this is boring, and you pick up your remote and you go back to the streaming menu, you might look at something else and say, oh yeah, I remember my friend at work telling me about this program. I think I'm going to watch it. And you change the channel essentially. Not a lot of us watch TV anymore, but we all have the streaming experience. And so you watch that program and you go right into the story. You go right into who the characters are. You get a sense right away of some of the backstory. You get a sense of, what the backdrop is, the time period, what kind of people are involved, the general characters, the secondary characters. You get an idea for the story of that very quickly. It starts to fill itself out with details very, very quickly. If you are watching TV, and let's just say you're watching a football game, and a commercial comes on, you're like, okay, well, there's this other show that I like to watch, I don't know, Law and Order, and that started 10 minutes ago, and you switch into it, and there it is, the program already in progress, already going. There's already things that have happened, there's already events and situations that have taken place, and it's a whole new story, a whole new timeline. It's easy for you to flip into a different timeline or different reality for yourself based on a change in your inner state as it is to change the TV channel, where you're essentially joining a program of you already in progress, where that timeline of you already exists. And when we talk about change in terms of quantum consciousness, unity consciousness, everything is just experience and it's ongoing. You can't stop it. You can't stop the experience that you're having right now. And as souls, as creator beings, we are very excited to jump into this duality realm where we experience polarity, contrast, conflict, duality, because we're getting to play with these linear constructs, these mental constructs that have to do with time and space, but also have to do with this idea of change. Anything with an ing on the end of it is something that connotes a transitional phase, right? I'm becoming this person. Let's just say you are involved in doing some really great practices and behaviors to lose some weight. So you're going to the gym, or you have your schedule set up at home to go into your fitness room, pick up the weights, or get on your exercise bike, or get outside and do a hike or do a walk, going, an extra half mile when you're walking the dog, whatever that might be. You have the sense of becoming this ideal, right? When you're in process. But that's an illusion. That's what we get to play with in this linear construct of time and space. And any change, if you have the idea in your mind, you can close your eyes and you can see right now, whatever is your ideal that you are becoming, that you are striving towards, working towards. And this is beyond just hoping and wishing, folks. This is like, I'm actively in process of becoming this realization, becoming this ideal of me. If you can close your eyes and envision what he or she is doing as the end result, already living in the end of that ideal, the more details, the more you fill out that experience and you have a feeling sense of it. As far as your mind and body are concerned, as far as quantum consciousness is concerned, that's you tapping into a timeline that already exists. And the more and more you make those actionable behaviors that you recognize as you in process of becoming that person, the more you concretize that, the more you consistently build some momentum with that, so that just becomes you become that, then you have been in that reality, that timeline always. There's never been a you that's not in that timeline. And if there is, it's something that you could remote view, just like you initially, when you were imagining this version, you were essentially remote viewing this version of you. And so the past you won't have the same memories that that older version of you has, because in terms of quantum consciousness, you never were that person. So the timeline of the past, the timeline of the future, all matches the person you have become. And another way to say that is who you've put all of your energetic focus and attention into, who you've funded with the bulk of your energy, meaning most of your time has been spent imagining, most of your energy has been spent feeling as this person. And the more and more you do that, the old you ceases to be. That timeline is no longer active. There's only you in the timeline that's preferred. And as far as quantum consciousness is concerned, you've always been that person. You've always had those habits. You've always had those behaviors that, were things that you recognized as actionable behaviors to get you there. It's paradoxical. It sounds paradoxical, and it is. But if you can grasp this, you can play with this, that there really is no change. And if there really is no change, not in the sense that we think about it, and maybe this is, blowing your mind a little bit right now, and you're like, wait, I'm scratching my head trying to figure this out. It's okay. It's something you can sit with and something you can kind of chew on for a little bit. But let me give you something else to think about here. This ideal of you, if you didn't have awareness of it, it simply wouldn't be a timeline that's already existing. Anytime you can imagine something that it has all the effects on your body and your mind of feeling real, it exists, that timeline exists. And if you have awareness of anything, it's meant for you. So you might think, well, this way of being where I lost 20 pounds is forbidden to me somehow. This way of being where I'm making $20,000 a month, that's somehow forbidden to me. None of that is true. If you can imagine it, if you have awareness of it, it's meant for you. And what you're doing is essentially remote viewing a timeline of you, a reality of you that already is a program already underway, already a timeline, a way of being, a reality already in progress. So yes, we're playing with time and space here. So you're going to, until you concretize that timeline that's your ideal, you're going to play with anything that's an ing. You're becoming, you're processing, you're healing, you're rewiring, whatever you want to call it. Anything with an ing on the end is you just playing with space and time. Because your soul, your creator you, the you that's limitless, eternal, and is the one consciousness, already knows that you can play with any reality, you can have any way of being, you can do whatever you want. It's all open to you. The only thing, the mountain in your way is you. So when you really open your mind and realize that the more and more I am funding this ideal with my attention, energy, and focus, the more real this timeline becomes, because that's where the bulk of my energy will be. And wherever the bulk of your energy is, that's your reality. What you put your attention on grows. What you realize becomes something you view with your real eyes. Okay, to be glib and kind of silly and whatever. Or what your frequency is what you frequently see. So even when you're saying now that you are changing, that's the eternal you playing with duality, playing with this time and space, which is what makes up the third dimensional realm of experience. But this simulation, this holographic projection of everything that's in your inner state can be changed if you're willing to change your inner state. So if you're doing this, keep going, keep doing whatever you're doing. Do not give up. Please understand the reason that it's not concretized yet is because you have yet to put more of your energy, attention, and focus on it as something that's real. It's already here. I'm already joining this program already in progress. And don't psych yourself out by thinking about, but this is a big change. This is a little change. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with clients. And when I do breakout sessions with them, I'm helping them to, disentangle themselves from past impressions, misperceptions about what they can or can't have, or what they think they can or can't have, or what they believe they can or can't have. And when we disentangle this, when they're explaining their story to me about why they can't have it, I'm like, stop right there. Anytime they start saying, I'm afraid of big changes, you are psyching yourself out. There is no such thing as big or small changes, a little bit of change, an increment of change. And as far as the quantum level is concerned, and there isn't even any change at all, but change is total, change is complete. It's about the bulk of your attention and energy. You're playing with how much of you is still stuck in an old identity. How much are you playing with that idea of playing small, or that you can't have this thing, or don't come from the kind of people that have that? And you'll feel that to get to the other side of that will be big change. It's not. It's an identity shift. It's the willingness to feel differently about yourself now. What happened in the past doesn't matter. That's an illusion too. So the more you tell stories and you use words like big change or little change or, massive, intense energies, it's all just energy. There is change, and there isn't even any change at all in quantum consciousness. And it is about where you place the bulk of your attention. And if that is on the desired, idealized reality, practically ignoring everything else, even ignoring the sensory input in your life right now that says this pain, this anger, this sadness, this is all real, those are even mental constructs. But where we're calling something intense or massive or big or small, those are mental concepts. They're not real. Those are mental constructs that we have adopted and then adapted to as qualifiers for our experience, but they're not real. So we are, talking about this all the time in Unity School. I'll talk about this even more on this page. So if you like this content, if you've been following my other videos and you want to see more, I'd love for you to subscribe and even hit that bell notification so that you know when new videos come out. I try to have videos come out about every other day. I try to keep them short and sweet. And I hope this has kind of rearranged your consciousness a little bit and given you some food for thought. And if you have questions, and if you are still playing with these mental concepts of big change, small change, whatever, and you're getting really hung up on it and you're psyching yourself out with it, and it's why you procrastinate and don't move forward, drop me a comment down below and maybe I can help you clear that up a little bit. So thanks for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.